What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now Plus. I'm Alex, and for today's video, I thought I would go a little bit different. Obviously, it's the weekend. We try to do different kind of things on the weekend versus the week. There was a review, if you want, if you call it that. There was a review of Horizon Forbidden West, and this is several days old, but I couldn't let it pass me. I thought, maybe people have had enough of talking about Horizon. I've made many videos on the main channel. So again, I put this on the second channel on the weekend. But there was a review that gave it a half star, okay? So gave it a half star and really kept things very concise, very straight to the point. I really don't know how you can get more specific, and I respect the person for taking just the direct approach. And the review is, I don't like women in my games. Half a star out of 5. So that's the review. I mean, there's a lot to really break down there and read. Just kidding. All right, here's what I want to talk about. Here's what I want to say. This review, I fully feel like is fake, all right? Fake in one way or another. Now, I thought it immediately. What you saw from this is this became one of the most popular images for Horizon Forbidden West that existed, besides the one that talks about Aloy's, like you could see like the little hair, her hair is on like the side, and people said like, I don't want hair on my females in games. Or besides that image, okay, which I do think that was probably a real thing. I do believe that. This one I don't. I don't believe this one. I'll tell you why. Because this one gets the gaming journalists all fired up. And this is what we saw really for a couple days of just people quote tweeting it and spreading it around and saying, this is the problem, this. All right, so here's, and again, I guess this is the bigger point. I feel like this is either completely, it's either a troll, okay, they did this on purpose. It's either somebody just thought it was fun, which I guess also would be a troll, right? It's like fake, it's not really real. Or a game journalist themselves posted this so they can all write articles about it, all right? I fully believe in one of those three things. And actually, this account, Play Asia, they said the exact same thing. They say, this is for sure, and this, I love the way, she puts this. This is for sure either low-quality bait or some journalists that did this to have something to write about. Regardless, I think it's really funny to see the two most popular tweets of the game are this image and footage of the Snake Boss. I do believe this, because here's the thing. Is there people that believe this? And this really applies to more, I like these kind of topics, because while they are a specific thing, while it is Horizon Forbidden West, I really like looking at these things and talking about them, because you can apply them to more than just, these are all lessons and things we can kind of observe in other parts of the game industry, Hollywood, all that. So that's why I talk about these, by the way. It's not just to like farm or milk Horizon Forbidden West, because that's not what I'm doing. Do people think this? Yes, there are some people that think this. Is the number incredibly low? Yes. There is very little people that actually believe this. Very little people. And what people in real life, what politicians, politics, what Hollywood, what gaming industry, what all of them try to do is to find things like this that exist, that are in the world, and claim that because obviously, okay, it is a stupid take, right? If anybody actually believes that is just the dumbest take you can possibly say, okay? Is that fair? I think we can all agree that's fair. Nobody that's like, besides, I guess, trolls, or they say it because they actually mean it, and it's a very small percentage. Nobody else actually thinks this, and that is the vast 98, 99% majority. But what they will do is say, well, this is an issue, this is a huge issue, and so many people think this. Or they will use this to strengthen their other arguments, right? So if a game isn't good, I'm not saying this, by the way, because I actually love Forbidden West. I actually really like Aloy. All that stuff is true. But what they will say is if people don't like a game with a female, it'll be, oh, well, we know there's this gigantic group of gamers that hate women in games. Oh, look, here's an example. Here's a review of this person who gave it half a star, and the review is, I don't like women in my game. So clearly, there's a big, huge group of people that just, if there's a girl in the game, their eyes fall out, and they will not play it. And that's honestly not true. To such a high degree, that is not actually the case. And you can apply this, again, to anything. You want to go to Hollywood, if somebody doesn't like a movie and the movie stars some sort of, I guess not white character, not white male, because white males, for some reason, they're like this evil entity to a lot of these people. But if there's something different and they don't, and audiences don't like them, or a group of the audience doesn't like them, whatever. You could even say Star Wars. I don't know if it was the biggest thing for Star Wars, but say like Rey, right? Because she wasn't a male, people said, oh, well, that must have been, and I think that was just, there was a lot of other things going on with Star Wars, but that's just, to throw around an example. Same thing with politics and humans, right? Are there people that think truly evil and horrible things? Sure there are. There's bad in the world, but is a huge group like that? No. So to label everybody that's really what this is. It's labeling. It's saying you are that group that really doesn't exist. It's such a small group, but we're going to pretend like they are huge and they need to be stopped and they're like a gigantic issue. We're going to pretend that that's the case. And then when we don't like what you say, we're going to lump you in with that group. And that's really over the past, I would say, maybe 6 or so years, 5, 6 years, that's what the world has been. It's pretending this small, exaggerated group. They do exaggerate it, right? And then they lump you in with it when you don't fit the narrative. That's pretty much what the thing is. So, again, is that 1,000% what's happening here? Not exactly, but it is to various degrees, because what you see from this is, again, there's nobody that actually thinks this. There's just not. And this image gets passed around so much, and this image gets talked about, and then you see all these gaming journalists and all these developers that jump on, and what do they say? Oh, okay. And you know what it also makes them do is like, well, we need to include more women. We need 95% women, 5% men in our games now. And that's another, that's a thing that it's overcorrecting. It's overcorrecting, and it's like purposeful overcorrecting, right? Because they know there actually isn't an issue. People play games with males. People play games with females. When you have character creation games, people play as males, people play as females. There's really not too much of an issue. Games are more diverse now, okay, than ever. Can it get better? Sure, I guess. But it's never been better than now. And they will pretend like, again, this one person is really millions of people, and then lump you in if you say anything negative. That's what these things are. And so, it's funny to see it. It's funny to see people overreact to it, right? When you see these game journalists quote tweet it, you're like, you guys are falling for just a troll. This person is a troll. You're falling for it. You look like an idiot. But while that's funny, because I love game journalists and game developers looking like idiots, on the other side of things, okay, it's actually a little scary because, again, it only helps strengthen, because again, this stuff gets passed around and people fall for it. Some people fall for it, and it helps strengthen that narrative that there's this, again, big evil group of people. So it strengthens that narrative, and they say, well, we need to combat it, but how they combat it normally is not well put together. I guess go to Hollywood for an example, right? A lot of overcorrecting, really forcing representation and diversity, and in the movie, oh, why is it good? Well, because it has representation. Well, does it have a good story? Does it have good characters? Well, no, but we race swapped a bunch of them, and they're diverse, so you should like them now, right? Well, is the movie good? Well, no, not really, but it's diverse. Didn't you hear me the first 15 times I said it? So and why do they do that? Well, again, I think a big part of it is stuff like this, because when you make a group out to be kind of evil and against it, and you make that group to be very, very big, then this looks good, right? Because you're saying, well, we're fighting this evil group, all of these different ists and phobes and stuff like that. We're fighting them all, but they don't actually exist. Okay. Now, again, am I saying there's 0 people that think like this? No, but the group is so small. And guess what? The people that think like this, okay, yes, there are the trolls that'll do it, or there will be people, I guess, that are very vocal, but the real people get absolutely demolished. Nobody's actually going to say this take, show their face, be fully stand behind it, be willing to take the hits back because they know they're right, or that doesn't happen, because that's not the way the world is, right? That kind of stuff. If you see a person, a verified user on Twitter, if I did it, right? If I just said it and I fully meant it and I stood behind it and I was like, no, I'm going to take it and I'll tell you why and all, it's that wouldn't fly. It wouldn't work. So really, there's not that much that needs to be done to combat it, because these people are very small in numbers and everybody kind of knows that it's dumb and that they really don't have any backing and they really don't have anybody that supports them. Does that make sense? So again, it's not necessarily even about horizon. It's about these kind of narratives that just kind of get started. Maybe it was a troll, and it is funny, but it actually, I think, maybe hurts more than it helps. It could very well be just a game journalist who decided to do this for fun. Not even for fun. They were looking for content, so they made this, and they said, oh, boy, this is going to give me a week worth, you know what I mean? Like, that could very well have happened. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Make sure, as always, you guys are subscribed to the channel. Hit the bell icon so you guys know when all these videos go up, and I hope to see you all on tomorrow's video.